is there more soldiers on the other side of that EMA? Did they go pick up new soldiers? Because, you know, now that it's weak, to kind of give y'all a little background, right? I love trading. I've done trading for a long period of time, and oh, come on, 4:30. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Let's go. Hey, good morning. Excuse me. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to another iteration of After the Trades. I'm your host, JD _ the Great on Instagram and most social networks. Don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and the bell button. That way the algorithm knows I bring out some solid content. And yeah, share it to friends and family. This morning I woke up and I kind of wanted to check back on UNH after I sent out the alert. Don't forget, this thing is completely and utterly powered by TradingView. Shout out to them. As you notice, you can see as everybody started to pull their profits a little after I signaled, hey, we hit our TP. It was very, very close to getting into our in the money, but towards the end of the day, you could kind of see we consolidated, and it was just not taking off. It was thinking about it. It wasn't too sure what it wanted to do, and the last thing you want to do is force something. So when we got to this level and they could not fill that fair value gap, that was buy opportunity, and that thing flipped on its head. Let me go ahead and bring in the indicator. Coming up with Pat got him, and you can see it signaled just a little after the announcement, and you can see we had a nice little push to the upside here. And where did it go? It went straight to the TP. And that excuse me. And that is what you want to see as soon as you get into a trade. You got a nice little solid close right here. That's the more high risk of a trade. But then if you came in and you notice that it came to this, you probably get a little bit of a pullback, play it to the TP. And right now, it's right there. That's still about $1 move, 50 cents to $1 move just on that move alone. So shout out to UNH for following suit and staying with the rules, you know. So that's what we want to kind of see. All right, let's kind of run through a couple of things after my announcement of a couple of things. Like I did say, Amazon was trying to get to its TP as well. Got to TP1, and that thing sold right then and there. There's a reason why I said it's high risk, high reward. All right, high risk, high reward means there is a chance we could get to that TP, and it happened within about an hour after the announcement. And then you can see as soon as it hit the TP1, it sold back. We were really aiming for over here, which would have got us to TP2, but of course, if you have only one contract, take the TP1. If you have multiple contracts, basically scale completely out, maybe leave a runner, but we already knew over here on the left, that's a lot of junk that you don't want to have to deal with. And you can see they hit that resistance. They know that there's sellers here, and they bailed out. So we're going to see what happens pre-mark. Oh, Lord. Wow. That thing took off. So if you swung some overnights on this one, oh my God, this thing just pushed right on up, right through the block. Look for gap fills. That's probably going to happen in the middle of December, because I did not expect that. Massive engulfing sell-off, very little support, support for sales, and then the new support for buyers stepped in. They did not want to see it under 220. Explosion to the upside right here, and it won't stop. So shout out to those that are still in it, even though the pullback came into fruition. All right, so that is a really, really good way where a runner is in your favor, and you basically are taking the probability of the momentum and you're not forcing it. That means, let's just say I bought 10 contracts here, sold 9 when it hit here, carried the one, sound like a mathematical equation, right? Carried the one runner, and I just woke up to a nice surprise. These things can happen, but you have to plan accordingly. Do not, I promise you, do not force it with all 10, because now you're playing more of a gambling game. The goal is use other people's money to make money. All right, that's our goal. That's our goal. All right, so let's go ahead and keep this going. So the video had popped up later on in the afternoon as well, and it was showing signs that it wanted to push to the downside, and you can kind of see how that went. Wow, let me get rid of this, and let's go ahead and focus on this one right here. And when it closed, when it got to this point, it's back to that 176, which I was looking to short before. I forgot where I wanted to short it, but anyways, it basically was trying to get to that downside, and they basically looked at everybody that tried to short it as fodder, and then they just pushed it right back up. These things happen, right? But it never gave an entry. Most important thing, if it doesn't give an entry, stay away. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and look at Microsoft. This one I did take, but I am a little upset because I was trying to put I do this a lot, I'm not even gonna lie to you. I was trying to put my stop loss into profit, and all it took was someone to just have a conversation with me, and that threw me completely off. And I did this on the show, so hit the like, subscribe, and the bell button, because there's going to be times it's already running away, I'm already in, and it doesn't give enough time for me to get this out there, because I'm a pure scalper for the most part. I love short-term swings, I love leaps, but where I get my kudos on is solid scalps. So don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and the bell button 3 times a day. I try to give you as much information as possible, so that way you can make some really sound decision. And I was getting in, well, it did hit this by that time, so I was already at 20%. And most times when I do these scalps, it's about 20% from this level. But I was trying to put a stop loss into the area, which would have had it like probably like right here, so I would have been still in, but then I would have been disappointed because I didn't catch it right here. But then I would have woke up to this surprise, you know what I'm saying? So it's funny how the market runs when it's all said and done. But this was a really solid trade, and if we look down, it kind of gave a little bit of an announcement right here at 2:45 going into 3 o'clock. So that's why it was very tough to relatively take this one, because this announcement here led to this take profit there, or stop loss I should say, right? And I said this still looks good, and it's the conversation I was having during the show. And when it still looks good, there's a possibility if it holds here again, regardless of them saying the trade's over, we might be able to take this. And that's exactly what we did. That's exactly what we did, and when it popped right on up to the upside, and that's when it triggered this new one, and everybody and their mama took their profits when it hit that TP1, and that's how that one worked out. All right, so great trade, great solid trade. I'm not upset about it. It would have been cool to kind of still hold on to a runner if anything, but for the most part, everything is lining up the way it is built. Let's go ahead and check out Apple. Apple gave this around 3 o'clock. I did not see it. I probably, if I saw it, I probably would have announced it and just not do a show around it. Oh yeah, look at that. That went right to TP2, 275. That's a psychological level. They probably came back to get some friends to see if they can hold that 275, but we'll see, because right now this buy area right here. Let's bring the volume real quick. I'm curious on what the volume is, because we're getting into quad witching. Ooh, whoa. That is very interesting. Look at that bad boy. What it do? I would say it feels fluffy. It feels very fluffy, but we'll see what happens there. But Apple hit that TP2 flush, and that is exactly what we are looking for. And then of course the announcement for UNH, I already told y'all what happened, and plus we had that nice little push up. Let's go check out the swing trades. Is there anything out in the swing trade world? Not really. Let's go with the Sirius XM. This is mostly for the shares players, if y'all like to play shares. But I would probably short below 21.39 and bring it down to 20, roughly about under $21. Be careful, because they put in a better bullish divergence on this 15-minute. That would be the game plan. Let me come to the 2-hour, because I already charted it out. Yeah, you can see if we get a 2-hour close below 21.39, then I'll feel a little bit more confident. But that 15-minute bullish divergence is the one that's actually bringing us back up to this upside, retesting the block, and then we got to get a nice little close below here. Yeah, that selling pressure is dying off though. That's very interesting. Let me get rid of this volume. Don't want to throw y'all off just in case y'all don't use volume. All right, is there anything else? Let's go to NQ'd up and see if there's anything that stands out. I guess we could do a nice little recap over here for my futures folks. CL is continuing to do this right now, right? It is trying to avoid breaking under $55 again, which would give us some cheaper prices. And yeah, I do. I totally do. You know what? I'll pull that one right after. I do think so. It hasn't triggered any signals for me to get in yet, but I've seen that. So CL, the way this is actually working out, like this is that order block. I'm looking for a reversal inside of this order block because I think we're going to get under 55 again. We haven't been down here in a very, very long time. Back here. Come on, come on. Where are you? There you are, right? We were over here, and this is around 2021, and then we made this bull flag. So I'm very curious on what oil does from here. Let's look at GC. GC right now, it is, yeah, it looks like it wants to kind of still give up. We had a nice little push up overnight because they're trying to get all that sell side liquidity. The daily looks like this, and they attempted, and this is what we talked about in class, right? They attempted to get down here, and they was like, no, we're not going any lower. This is our support. And look, they took out that. They're trying to take that out, but they noticed that this was selling pressure. So this is going to be very fun to try to trade throughout this day. So let me look at what was tapped in the chat. Let's go ahead and check out Tesla. I totally agree. Tesla is trying to go for that all-time highs. Well, actually, did it already hit it? It might have already hit it. Oh, it already hit it. It already hit it. Oh, man. Shout out to all my Tesla bulls out there in the world. So, if anything, maybe we get a nice little retracement if this is the top here. This was a very, very, very strong move. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks of just straight bullish momentum. I really think this is the loyalist. It's losing money in for shareholders. The revenue is going up, but everybody's banking on the robo-taxi. Next target, I'm gonna have to put some negatives. Let's go with negative 168 and negative 268. Aggressively, 667. Psychological, 600. Psychological, 550. Psychological, 525 if you want to be conservative. But if this weekly momentum, and if this is really truly a bull pennant or a bull flag, 667 sometime in the middle of 2026, 2027. But that's aggressively speaking. We already know what these oscillators look like. That MACD hasn't reset it since June of 2025. Let me show you when it held up before. See, when you hold up a market without proper resets, like this one right here, that's when you get these bearish divergences, and then they test the under the zero line, and that's what happened here in 2022. So, yeah, it's cool. Yeah, you had a nice little test with, Liberation Day, but this was a time for you to go ahead and try to see if you can get them down here. So, yeah. 667 sometime between 2026 and 2027. That's what I'm thinking. We'll see. All right. That's what I got for y'all. I don't got nothing else. So since that's the case, look forward to talking to y'all later on this afternoon as the 11:30 alerts come through. So don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and the bell button when I jump on, giving you the alerts on what is the next trades to look out for. Until then, you have a great day. Bye-bye.